Susan Smith. In 1994, in the small town of Union, South Carolina, a woman named Susan Smith called the police, her voice trembling. She claimed her car had been stolen, with her 2 sons, Michael, age 3, and Alex, just 14 months old, still inside. The community rallied, searching day and night. Their faces were on every TV screen. Susan wept before cameras, begging for her children's safe return. But after 9 long days, the truth came out. Susan herself had been behind the wheel and she had let her car roll into a nearby lake, with her sons strapped in the back seat. Investigators learned she was suffering from deep depression and desperate for the affection of a man who didn't want children. That desire, twisted by mental anguish, led to one of the most shocking family crimes in American history. In 1995, Susan Smith was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 30 years. But for many, no punishment can erase the silence of that lake where 2 innocent voices were lost forever. Andrea Yates. On a rainy June morning in 2001, in Houston, Texas, a woman named Andrea Yates made a quiet, emotionless call to police. She said only, "Please come. I hurt my children." When officers arrived, they found a scene that would haunt them forever. 5 children, Noah, John, Paul, Luke, and Mary, had been drowned in the family bathtub. Andrea sat nearby, calm and detached, waiting to be taken away. It was later revealed that she suffered from postpartum psychosis, a rare and severe mental disorder that distorts reality. Andrea believed she was saving her children from eternal damnation, that death was the only way to protect them. The tragedy shocked the world and forced a national conversation about maternal mental health. At first, she was convicted of murder. But after appeal, her conviction was overturned, and she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. Today, Andrea Yates remains in a psychiatric facility, a symbol of how deep love and deep suffering can tragically intertwine. Casey Anthony. In the summer of 2008, in Florida, a young woman named Casey Anthony became the center of national attention. Her mother called 911, saying, "It's been weeks, my granddaughter is missing." The little girl was Kaylee Marie Anthony, just 2 years old, with a smile that lit up every room. Casey told police that a babysitter named Zonnie had taken her daughter. But as investigators dug deeper, her story unraveled. There was no babysitter, and no trace of Kaylee anywhere. Months later, the child's remains were found in a wooded area near the Anthony home, wrapped in a trash bag. Prosecutors claimed Casey killed her daughter so she could live freely and party. Her defense argued it was a tragic accident, covered up by a frightened family. In 2011, the jury acquitted Casey of murder but convicted her of lying to police. To this day, the case divides the public. Was it justice or the failure of it? The truth of what happened to Kaylee may never truly be known. Diane Downs. Spring, 1983, a dark rural road in Oregon. A woman named Diane Downs speeds into a hospital parking lot. Her 3 children are in the back seat, covered in blood. Breathless, she tells doctors, "A stranger shot us." 7-year-old Cheryl is dead. Christy and Stephen barely survive. At first, Diane plays the role of the terrified mother, but soon, cracks begin to show. Her story doesn't add up. There are no signs of a struggle, no trace of another shooter, and no tears. Then one day, little Christy wakes from her coma and whispers 3 words, "Mom did it." Investigators discover the truth. Diane had fallen in love with a married man who didn't want children. In her twisted logic, she decided to remove the obstacle. In 1984, Diane Downs was convicted of murder and attempted murder. She remains behind bars, a chilling reminder that evil can wear even the softest smile. Lacy Spears. In 2014, in New York, the mysterious death of 5-year-old Garnet Paul Spears shocked the nation. His mother, Lacy Spears, was known online as a devoted mom, constantly sharing updates about her son's illnesses and hospital stays. But behind those heartfelt posts was a horrifying secret. Doctors were baffled. Garnet's condition kept worsening, but no medical test could explain why. Then they found dangerously high levels of sodium in his body, so high it could only have been intentional. Investigators discovered that Lacy had been secretly feeding her son salt through his feeding tube, while documenting his suffering for sympathy and attention online. She was suffering from a rare psychological disorder called Munchausen by proxy, a condition where a caregiver harms their child to gain emotional validation. Lacy Spears was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to prison. Her story remains a chilling reminder that sometimes, what looks like love, is really the need to be loved at any cost. Meghan Huntsman. Between 1999 and 2006, in Utah, a seemingly ordinary home concealed a horrifying secret. Meghan Huntsman, a mother of 6 newborns, killed them one by one. For years, no one knew where the babies had gone. Then, in 2014, a shocking discovery was made. The remains of 6 infants were found buried in the family garage, each with a chilling precision. Meghan, a woman who appeared to live an ordinary life, had silently taken the lives of her own children. She admitted to killing the infants out of fear, life pressures, and inner psychological turmoil. Her case highlighted the hidden dangers of maternal mental health issues. Meghan Huntsman was sentenced to life in prison, and her story remains one of the darkest examples of filicide in US history. A grim reminder that even ordinary appearances can hide unimaginable tragedy. Deanna Laney. In 2003, in Texas, a woman named Deanna Laney made a horrifying decision. Her 3 sons, Joshua, Luke, and Aaron, were killed by their mother in their home. Deanna later claimed that she believed God had commanded her to kill her children to save them from the evils and sins of the world. Neighbors and the community were shocked. How could a mother commit such an act? The court called upon psychologists and psychiatrists to assess her mental state and motivation. Deanna was convicted of murder, though some argued she suffered from a severe psychological disorder. The Deanna Laney case is a chilling example of how extreme beliefs and mental illness can distort a mother's love, turning it into a tragic force. Michelle Kho. In 2008, in New York, a woman named Michelle Kho committed a crime that shocked the community. Her 2 young sons, Sean and Seth Kho, were killed by their mother. Michelle later admitted that under the pressure of life, stress, and feeling overwhelmed, she made this horrifying decision. Police discovered a tragic scene in her home, lifeless bodies of the children and a silence that spoke of an unspeakable disaster. Michelle was taken to court and her defense cited mental health struggles and psychological pressure, but the painful truth remained: the lives of 2 children were ended. The Michelle Kho case serves as a grim reminder that life's pressures can sometimes lead to catastrophic decisions, even from those who should protect. Julie Chaneka. In 2011, in Alabama, a woman named Julie Chaneka committed a horrifying crime. Her 2 children, Calix and Bo Chaneka, became victims of their mother's deadly decision. Julie admitted that under psychological stress, daily pressures, and personal struggles, she carried out the act. Police discovered a chilling scene in her home, lifeless children and a heavy, silent atmosphere that shocked family and neighbors alike. The court reviewed the case, and Julie was convicted of murder. This case serves as a grim reminder that behind ordinary appearances, silent and horrifying tragedies can unfold.